on Human and People's Rights under the United Nations Conventions protecting the right to self-determination and individual rights. We are calling on the whole world to recognize the fact that Nigeria has always been a big brother to Southern Cameroonians without compromising the diplomatic relationship they have with the Republic of Cameroon. But we had a choice. We had a choice when we were constrained to vote to accede to independence, either by joining the Federal Republic of Nigeria or to join the Republic of Cameroon. You don't need too much of detail, but I can tell you, Support Priso sponsored the misdirection financially, and we found ourselves in the Republic of Cameroon without taking cognizance of the advice of Tafawa Balewa, the then Prime Minister of Nigeria, and our own Prime Minister, Dr. Endeli, who told us that we are leaping into the dark. Today, we do not want to change our style. We are a peaceful people. We were attacked. We have not gone to war with the Republic of Cameroon. We have enjoined our people to maintain at the utmost self-defense.
Yes.
That is the reason why we have more than 30,000 refugees in Nigeria. If we were ready for war, we would have been in our territory fighting. We are sending a message to the international community that they have a responsibility if the United Nations is relevant to its objective, to its mission, to its vision, to step in now in Southern Cameroon and resolve the matter. I know that the United Nations is a club and most of the members of the Security Council are worried not for the implementation of the provisions of the conventions that protect our rights. They are worried about their investment in Southern Cameroon. We want to assure the corporate world that as a free people, Southern Cameroon government will negotiate responsible contracts of partnership with them.
Oh, yes.
It will not be a reduction of Southern Cameroonians to slave status over their God-given resources. We shall negotiate and we shall partner with reasonable investors. So we are asking even the corporate world. It is now more than 20 years that the United Nations began to develop the principle of corporate responsibility in the protection of humanity. We want to invoke those provisions to ensure that Mr. Guterres should not think that we are lesser than the people from Catalonia. We are entitled to our right to self-determination. Oh, yes. And it is well ingrained in Resolution 1608, which was never implemented. And on this score, I can remind you that on the 30th of September, the eve of our independence in 1961, the ambassador from Great Britain in newly independent Cameroon, instead of handing our sovereignty to Foncha, who was the Prime Minister of a government that had existed since 1954, passed on the sovereignty to Ahijo, who was a visiting head of state into Southern Cameroon. This is where Britain was faulted. But we know that diplomacy is full of errors. We are calling on the United Nations, we are calling on Great Britain to put aside the errors they had made and bounce back to complete the decolonization. Resolution 1608 required Britain to accompany us to a conference for a constitutional framework of the relationship that would exist between Southern Cameroon and the Republic of Cameroon. Britain abandoned us and traded us in exchange for the French Virgin Island and also for a slice of Togo, which is now part of Ghana. We are also addressing the African Union, that the African Union must not be a club of sharing booties. We know that Cameroon Minister of Foreign Affairs was in Addis Ababa distributing goodies and making sure that the African Union backpedals on a statement they had made in favor of the situation of Southern Cameroonians. We are asking whoever is in the seat of power now at the African Union to assume the responsibility and invoke provision or the provisions of Article 4B of its Constitutive Act and make sure that it is applied.
Yes.
The African Commission for Human and People's Rights, in matters that I participated, already identified us as a people, and they asked Cameroon to negotiate with us. The negotiation was not for us to compromise our independence, but to see how the damage they have caused could be repaired. Now they have aggravated it with the genocide that has been perpetrated in Banyo County. We are saying that the United Nations, African Union, the Commonwealth of Nations, they should move fast to do an assessment of the damage, and as a peaceful people, we are ready to negotiate, and we will not negotiate peace with our hands handcuffed behind us. So, anybody who thinks that our vibrant President Julius Ayuk Tabe will be coerced into signing something that will favor them should know that any document in law signed under duress is null and void.
Under duress. Yes. Under duress.
The interim government, fully constituted, and I dare say, maybe with the parliament, we shall sit and only accept negotiations on a consensus. And we are not going to negotiate with the conditions of the opposite side. We shall choose an international arena with appropriate observers before we can negotiate. And we will not be dictated the terms of negotiation. We will have to participate in fashioning out the terms of negotiation. And it should be known to whoever that the negotiation is between two independent countries and not otherwise.
Yes.
We encourage our people back in the territory to know that nothing is lost. My brothers and sisters in Cameroon, know that you are not our enemies. My brothers and sisters in southern Cameroon, know that nothing is lost. This is dawn, which is the darkest moment before daybreak. We are taking the last step into our independence. Yes. So you should not relent. I call on the lawyers who cracked the glass ceiling for this current phase of our revolution. Please, brothers and sisters, do not relent. Tomorrow, your names will be written in the House of Fame in Southern Cameroon as you go back to your law offices and continue business as usual. We thank our mothers, the Takumbans. We thank our children who are sacrificing school, that it is better to have appropriate education that suits your human development than to get an education that constructs you into second-class citizens.
Oh, yes.
The education you are having is poison.
Preach.
We do not want your system to be poisoned. We want the education that will ignite and unearth the capacities that God gave you, so that you will serve your country and serve beyond.
Yes.
God bless.
Southern Cameroon is endowed with resources. Our human capital in the diaspora is something we must take cognizance of. We know that we have more doctors than Médecins Sans Frontières and specialists. We have lawyers, we have engineers, we have nurses. All of us are going to go back home.
Yes.
Yes. Call for
We are going to produce the first country that nobody will have the courage to call a shithole country.
Yeah.
We want to thank President Donald Trump because he speaks idiomatically and a lot of people do not understand him.
He called it.
We Southern Cameroonians, we had the kind of education that makes us understand when somebody speaks and you have to decode it.
Yes. Yeah.
It is because Biya is a puppet of his former colonial masters.
Yes.
That is why he is described like a shithole leader.
Yes.
But we are not under the control of anybody. But we are friends of everybody. I want to tell you, brothers and sisters, the diasporan Southern Cameroonians, you are taking the psychological pain just as the physical pain that our people in the territory are receiving. I urge you not to relent. Contribute to your last cent so that we may be able to give this last push. Our people have developed the Federal Republic of Ambazonian bonds. If you want simply to invest, it's a good investment. You will buy the bonds, and I can tell you, it will not take long before you start having the recompense for your bonds. Let us, above all, continue to pray, because the occultists that have been controlling us, they have gone to their last bus stop. Yes. And this battle has to be fought in the heavens as on earth here.
Yes.
I believe that 90% is in the heavens.
Yes.
So do not relent in your prayers. Approach your churches. Let them specifically consecrate time to pray continuously for Southern Cameroon.
Yes.
And Southern Cameroon will be God's land. Thank you very much.
Amen. God bless.